Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? YBT Daily coming at you every Thursday since the beginning of time. I think it feels like I've done the show for 10 years, but it's only been about 5. And YBT Dailies, I think, have been around for, I don't know, maybe 4 years or 3 years. I forget. I was doing the show every day for a while. Today, what we're going to talk about is inflation potentially affecting the price of the GTD. I was looking at Speed Phenom's video, and it's really tough to watch because of his voice. Let's be honest. His voice is really bad, but the information is really good. So he actually makes a case that because of tariffs, that the GTD will cost 10% more. And depending on how you spec out the car, it can be upwards of $400,000 to maybe $500,000. You and I know what you can buy with $500,000, and anything that you could buy over that price is 10,000 times better than a handmade GTD from Canada, of all places. We'll watch this video for a little bit so I don't get a copyright strike and speculate about that potential sales issue. If the ZR1 comes out around the same time and it's $100,000 or $200,000 less, better performing and more of them, is GTD in danger of kind of not going by the wayside, but the wind has been taken out of its sails. Also, we'll talk about Head Games releasing a video where he compares the Boss 302 head versus the Gen 2 head. Forever, everyone has thought that the Gen 2 head has been basically a copy of the Gen 1 Boss cylinder head. Come to find out, they're nothing alike. He flows both of them in stock form, shows you the physical differences, and we'll talk about that. Also, the EPA uncovering more corruption, billions of dollars going to climate change activist groups. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
That's right. It sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? People like Pmas. Pmas has been so great to me. They've provided so many parts, guidance, giveaways. They've been freaking awesome, and I love the fact that Pmas does that for the channel. The best cold air intake on the planet for all Coyote Mustangs. Nobody else matters. Nobody else comes close. I don't care how pretty they are. Pmas has the best data and the best performance out of all of them. D&Performance.com. Not only do they pay their bill on time, not only do they give you a mug every time you spend $1,000, but they actually give you a little bit of a discount if you use YBT or mention the Amory on checkout. Check them out. D&Performance, Pipe Farm, used parts, used crank pallets, used transmissions, wheels, tires, rolling chassis. You can get your used late model parts at partsfarm.com. 2 Auto Solution, represent Auto Solution, best late model shop in Puerto Rico, bar none, and Belak Industries. If you want to make sure everyone knows in Miami that you sell drugs, get yourself a set of Belaks. By the way, I believe one of our Amory members is selling a set of Belaks for S197 fitment for $4,500. I think wheels and tires, or maybe not. I think it's just the wheels. Check them out. Look, they're not cheap. Well, Belaks are big boy money, so make sure you check out. I think I forget the guy's name, but we'll mention it here. Also, richprince.com/YBT. I ordered a couple of hats. They should be coming in tomorrow, the next day. Every time someone makes me laugh, I give you a shirt, a sweater, or whatever you want from richprince.com. That's kind of like a good giveaway. If anyone makes me laugh or something's funny or a comment of the week, I can just go ahead and say, hey man, email me, get you a shirt. So richprince.com/YBT. We'll get after it, say hi to the people, and we'll start talking about the show. Clean out of 3GT, 101 RTR, Joe Swish, D-Rock Fox, Slow 99, Joe Swish, Money 540, D-Rock Fox, B. Lavesh, Frank Donahue, Douchdown, Z33, Camzella, Elvedica, Larga, John Bonanno, Joe Jackson, Andy Ibarra, Izzy R, Robo Style, Cornfred Cow, CJM, Bryson with the links, love the dude, Toxic Valley, Clint Stroke, Begalos, Craig Walls, Bill Noonan himself. Begalos has a show called Stick Talk on YouTube. Check it out, Stick Talk. He talks stick, shift, shit. One of his guests started doing this weird jerk-off motions, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? But, they're getting started, so they'll figure out that people probably don't want to see a guy making the jerk-off motion on a live stream. Blue Thunder, Mark Christensen, Ghost Burn, Magyar, Low, Dakota Kill. My God, this thing skipped 8,000 people. Dakota Kid, Big Gun, Third Coast Coating, Joseph Roman, Dustin Garrison, Peter Chow, Brothers Bank, LLC, Cobra, Harley Jet Sled, Bono Bird missing third, Woods, Timmy T, Connor, Wyatt, Arturo Mosillo, Lupez, 50 Kid, Built Boosted, Anthony, Let It Rip, Toilet Dumper, FKA, Sway, Edu Martinez doing me a favor checking out a Fox Body today, TJ, Steven, Hunter, Ghostburn, and Anthony, and all the usual suspects. Guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys for being here. It really does matter. We're going to talk real quick about Head Games. Head Games ended up releasing a video, had a pretty funny intro, and I thought you guys would appreciate it because the guy has a good sense of humor, good editing skills, and he explained things like the layman, and that's how you capture the vast majority of the people, speaking to people like normal.
For years, a tale has been whispered in the shadows of car meets and forums. The Gen 2 head is a mere reflection of the mighty Boss 302 head. What if I told you it's just a fable? Let's uncover the truth once and for all. Are you the same as a Gen 2? You stop for that bullshit, Dave. You told that shit ain't true. When I was searching for this answer, I asked everybody. I searched the interwebs. I was determined to find out, is the Gen 2 really the same as the Boss? Part of me felt like this answer can only come from heaven. God, can you help us figure this out? Is the Boss 302 really just like a Gen 2?
This is God, David. I don't give a shit about no damn Ford.
He's not wrong. So let's get to the meat and potatoes, okay? We're going to look at the intake port. We're going to look at some of the stuff that he talked about. I don't want to give away too much, but there's obviously vast differences with the intake port and the valve job itself in terms of angle. Obviously, anything that has these great little lines is Boss 302. Boss 302 have CNC ported cylinder heads. Boss 302s do not have a DI bung on them and has these little cute little pockets, I think, in the intake to straighten out the airflow. Think of it as like an air straightener. Then the Gen 2 head has more of a finished cast property, different angle on the valve job according to him, if I'm not mistaken, and he goes over very intricate details of what's what. But then let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. The meat and potatoes is the flow numbers. Now, when a head, the horsepower from a cylinder head comes from the intake. So he tests intake and exhaust.
Now, it might surprise you. On the intake side, some of you guys complaining about you couldn't see anything. I'm not putting the numbers up though. We can put a chart up. The numbers are, that's getting a little crazy on me. So the Gen 2 is losing at 100 lift, right? We got 19 CFM. The Boss is winning 19 CFM at 100 lift, 10 by 150, and then the Gen 2 just comes on trucking. By 300, they're even. And then the Gen 2 just starts taking off by a whole 3 CFM at 350 lift, 1 at 4. They're the same at 450. It's a dead heat, man. And then the Boss by 3, 4, and 7 CFM all the way up to the peak. I flowed this one up to 600 lift, although you're never going to buy a 600 lift cam for this thing, but
he's 100% right. So same thing on the intake. In my opinion, negligible gains between the lift areas that matter, which I would say is between 200 and 500. Anything above that, it's getting kind of on the exotic side. Again, these are two unported. Well, okay. The Boss 302 has CNC port. The Gen 2 doesn't. So that begs the question, a ported Gen 2 is probably pretty badass until you see the exhaust comparisons.
The Boss 100 lift has it by 10 CFM. They're the same at 150. They're like 2 CFM difference at 250. And then the Boss just starts taking off. 5 CFM by 3, We're 18 by 450. We're 21, 22 throughout the rest of the range.
Now, I really want to give a shout out to this gentleman. He's done the Lord's work, because we are getting to that point in time with the evolution of the Coyote where now the minutia comes into play. Now, when you want to build the best combination, you want to know certifiable data, flow data, real world results. Honestly, there should be a guy in an engine dyno kind of swapping heads around that are ported, non-ported. It's just insanely labor intensive. And then you have to talk about the tuning, because when you're able to swing cams around, that changes everything. And then the cam timing, if there isn't saucy stuff in the cam timing, you can skew those numbers and those numbers become negligible. Now, what does it mean when a cylinder head flows more on the exhaust side than the intake side? Well, let's say you have a turbo kit, you're less prone to valve flow. It is flowing that air, it is getting it out of there. Now, that is if all things are equal and the kits don't have small tubing, T4 housings, whatever, T6 and up, big primaries, inch and 3/4 and up to get the air out of the exhaust. But typically, let's just say cylinder head for cylinder head, stock for stock, even though Boss does have CNC ports, you can count on the Boss 302 head flowing a little better in the exhaust side and having less issues with back pressure. But in terms of power, a stock Gen 2 head looks to be pretty good and might be prone to valve float more so than the Boss, but not by a whole bunch. Like the CFM numbers don't tell me that, oh my God, one's going to cause valve float 100% where the other one isn't. No, I think it's kind of a wash. But great comparison. Boss 302 versus the Gen 2 cylinder head. That means the Gen 2 cylinder head is no slouch because it doesn't have any porting. Now, once he starts porting it and doing some work, I think you're going to see great results. Now, I think Head Games is at the forefront of this specific data because the Billy Badass guys get a Predator head, but even he has tested a ported Gen 1 head flowing great numbers versus a Predator head. So theoretically, you can get a comp cam stage 3 and a cammed Gen 1 ported head with his saucy stuff to make great power so much as say a Predator head. But this is where a lot of people don't understand why a lot of us don't love porting. And again, I'm not talking shit about Head Games specifically, but we have seen when they port the cylinder heads and you start really throwing boost at it, not 20, not 30, we're talking 40 and up, you're going to start seeing hairline cracks in the areas where less material is. Why do we say that? Because we've literally had it happen. The Lund Camp and his affiliates has had many cylinder heads have cracks in certain areas, so we don't love super hogged out cylinder heads. Now, maybe Head Games has a way better program, doesn't hog it to the end of life, and then you can still have plenty of meat on the cylinder head to be able to throw big Billy Badass boost at it. But if you're a guy like the normies and you're under 30 PSI, bro, you're good. I really don't think you're going to suffer any issues because you're not really pushing it like the Lunds, Brett, and a couple of other FFRE guys are really pushing the cylinder head. And those cylinder heads that are Predator heads are barely touched. They're literally polished. There is no mega porting done to those cylinder heads. But for the normies, the 99.99% of people that are going to get a set of Gen 1 cylinder heads, man, you can take it to Head Games, he port it, probably see good flow numbers, probably see lower boost numbers, but that just means the air is flowing easier because boost is a measure of restriction. So I really think it's a good idea to maybe have a good set of Gen 1 cylinder heads, given his saucy stuff. He's going to work on a code for us. Yes, Head Games, we have seen cracks at those areas. And again, not because of you, because we've never had cylinder heads ported by you, but it'd be nice to see what a set of your heads does on a, let's be honest, 2,000 horsepower setup, like big Billy Badass stuff. But we've seen it happen. That's why we are not big fans of mega porting. Let's just say the porting was done on the other coast, and I'm not going to name names because they don't need to be named. But that's why typically a stock cylinder head, you can make 1,500 and not really have many issues. Now, of course, with the path of least resistance and better flowing heads and bigger valves, everything is just going to be 100% kosher and just better for overall performance. Someone like myself probably would benefit if I do get the fucking 2650. Dude, I am having such a hell of a time finding belts that work on the Magnuson setup because it's kind of a custom deal. It's just taking me way long because I don't have the time and I'm trying to hammer it out. I feel pressure because I'm supposed to be working on that shit and it's just taking forever. People aren't helping. Vendors aren't helping. Friends just like scattered like roaches when you turn on the lights and it's a pain in the butt. But I think it's a good idea to eventually broach that subject when it comes to porting cylinder heads. So what do you guys think? Is porting a cylinder head specifically something you would opt for, or is the vast majority of people are okay with a Gen 2 head? Because if your choice is Gen 1 head or Gen 2 head, and there is availability for Gen 2 head, you're going to get the Gen 2 head. Good luck finding a set of boss heads. Probably not going to find it. But let's say you have a max effort NA setup, and you know, based on his numbers, a Gen 1 ported head, Billy Badass stuff, comp cam NAs, all this stuff, can probably perform as good as a Predator head. It's probably a good idea, but again, I can't wait to see this stuff on a dyno. And again, though, that data can also be taken with a grain of salt because engine dynos fucking lie. Every single time I see an engine dyno, it's just a tool. And some guy makes 800 NA. I go, no. A Coyote 800 NA, it'd have to be like 18-to-1 compression. So then you got to figure out what's making the actual power, the compression, the flow, who knows? But it'll be an interesting thing. We'll talk about that for a little bit and then we'll head over to the other subject matter later on. Cylinder head videos are solid, but really liked him on Law and Order more. Me too. He was great on Law and Order. Thanks for tuning my twin turbo boss today. Justin, we're not done. We still got to go E85 with it. So once we get E85 in it and get the two-step log to make sure no misfire codes pop up, we're going to throw some sauce at it. Bonderberg says, +1 for Pegalo's kill shots TikTok. He does have some weird guests, though. Yeah, you can't. So when you're doing a podcast, you have to be the best. You have to be funny. You have to be topical. You can't have dead air. You can't have people stepping on each other. And you can't have guys making the jerk off. You can't, hey, what's up? You can't do that. Just don't do that. That's maybe cool when you're hanging out, but like, you need to like literally have a show where you have substance. And again, they're getting started out, so I hope they do well. They're getting good views. They're getting over 1,000 views right off the rip. So that's really good. To be honest, I'll get and build a Gen 1 over a Gen 2. Those calves though, twin turbo boss getting after it. When do you think this opens up the aftermarket? Well, so let's say I have I hate to even say this, but an NA Gen 1, and I want to build it. And right now I have a Gen 1, but the problem is a cylinder head job is a son of a bitch. It's a whole son of a bitch. So let's say Head Games is like, Alex, I'm going to send you down a set of heads. You send me yours as a core, and we'll do something. Okay. So let's say I put my car on the dyno with a Cobra Jet. See, that's the problem. It's just... So let's say I put ComCam Stage 3 NAs on a fucking Gen 1 Mustang. Stock heads. Run it. Make power. You'd almost right then and there, at the same time, tear it down, put heads on it, hope everything is kosher, and run it again within a couple of hours to have like an actual comparison. Or an engine dyno where everything is the same. The other thing about the engine dyno is this. If Lund is not tuning it, I don't trust any VCT schedule. I don't trust any VCT schedule that Lund has not been a part of when it comes to engine dyno stuff. And about the last thing Junior, Senior, or I want to do is go to a fucking engine dyno and deal with assholes that think they know everything about engines but nothing about Coyotes. And then we're going to start swinging cams around. It's got to be a Ford Racing Control Pack or Motec, whatever. No Holly shit, no Fuel Tech shit, no nothing, no Mega Squirt. Ford Racing or Ford Performance or Motec. That's what we feel has the best control authority over the cam command. And then you'd have to swing them around and go, okay, now put the set of porta heads in. 2 or 3 hours later, do it. What gains? Tell me, guys, what gains would be worth it to you to buy a set of ported cylinder heads? 30 horse, NA, and let's say if you're boosted, in my opinion, the only time you should port cylinder heads is if you have reached the pulley combo that you're going to reach and you just want that extra flow. So you're going to lower boost because of restriction is lowered. And let's say I'm making 1100 horsepower max effort on a blower with 12-to-1 compression. And that's all I can get out of it. Well, if I port the heads, I'm going to expect torque to go down a little bit. But I would want 50 to 60 horse to the rear wheel. Is that attainable? I don't know. So it's so new, and it's a test that is skewable depending on who you trust tuning, doing the work, and dynoing, that it lends itself to shenanigans. But I think if the flow numbers are correct, you can see good gains on a max effort setup. I'm saying all the shit, cams, the whole nine. See, my issue with my motor right now, the GT500, it's a low compression motor. And that's going to hurt me. So I'm going to have to boost it to kingdom come, and I don't care if it blows up. That motor is a sacrificial lamb. I am throwing everything at it and see what it does. If and then it doesn't kind of do what it's supposed to do, then it's going to get a higher compression motor, like a 12-to-1 compression motor, and, get after it with the same pulley combo because I want to make the most power possible. Again, the goal for that car is to run 8s. That's it. So the cylinder head porting changeover is going to have to be something that I'm going to have to consider if I want to eke out every single horsepower I can. But it would only happen if I get another motor. But then you're going to go, what made the power, the compression or the head? It's just one of those tests, guys, that is very difficult to vet properly, in my most humble of opinions. Noted, no more wanking. Definitely cleaned it up the last 2 episodes, taking it more seriously. There you go, kill shot. Oh, that was you? Yeah, no, none of that. So when you're talking to somebody, you want to talk brief history. Don't bore people. No ums and ahs. There has to be a leader. Let's be honest. There has to be a leader. And it's probably going to be Pegalos, right? Pegalos is going to be like, hey guys, Pegalos here. Stick Talk, we're in Canada, hey? By the way, I can't wait to see what happens at the hockey game today. That'll be interesting. That's the only time that I would watch that game. Get the fuck out of here. We the best 58. Only Poppy can tame, filter, kill shot racing. I mean, more manufacturing, but I understand what you're saying. Ford needs to make another Boss Mustang and another Cobra during the Poppy Trump era. About time to fire Farley. Fuck the EPA. Now, one of the best things that you see, exactly. Thank you. Man, Head Games, you're good people. See, this is what I like about Head Games, right? He will verify the shit I'm saying. See, a lot of people are like, well, should I get a ported NA comp? No. Honestly, why? Take your heads off, get them ported. No. I think porting is for when you're trying to get every single little horsepower out of a boosted combo, specifically on Coyote. When it comes to the NA game, I don't like it because the quickest NA car ran nitro methane through the shit. So I'm like, whatever. Like, don't even talk to me. You're running nitro. What the fuck are we doing? Like, how the hell is that NA? So I appreciate him taking the time to do that video. It's very time consuming. It's a lot of editing. It's a lot of B-roll. It's a lot of physical work, flowing back to back, verifying data for the only reason of just, educating the masses. He does B58 stuff. He does RB bullshit. I don't know anything about RB, 2J. Not much LS because it's gay, and I appreciate that. Not much small block forward because it's gay, and I appreciate that. But the magic saucy stuff is in the overhead cam game. Let's be honest. And the B58 is just killing it right now. I can't wait for him to get a hurricane head. Hey, Head Games, have you gotten a hurricane head yet? I'd be interested to see what you think about that. Third Coach Coach said, wouldn't less cylinder pressure be a lot easier on the valve train components? Less cylinder pressure is better on everything. My General car makes 520 horsepower on pump E85 NA. 12-to-5 compression ported, hit General Heads, comp cam stage fees ported, CJ intake manual car dyno was done in 98 weather in 100% humidity. Probably the Puerto Rican guy I did down there. I tuned. I was trying so hard to avoid the ums. Good evening, says Darrell Washington. They're building the Hemi V8s again. Yellow Douchebag Prophet said, I don't think there's a point to port and polish heads unless you're opening the motor. again, let's say my car, my GT500, let's use that because that's the only one that's really getting after it right now. I put a belt on it that I was waiting 2 days for, and it snapped instantly. So I have an issue with the belt drive, so I have to figure out. And I'm just like, I was trying to do it before the show, and nothing is worse than working on something right before you have something scheduled. It's like ultra stressful. And the weekend, you think I want to work on the cars on the weekend? But I'm gonna have to, like, all weekend. So let's say the GT500 with a 2.6 upper and a 20% makes 900 horsepower, because I think that's what it'll make on a low compression motor. It should make 1,000 11 to 1, 12 to 1 compression, but I think low compression, it's going to make 900. It's going to be down like 100 horse. And I'm running 920 or 915 at 151, 152. I'm out of pulley. I'm out of timing. I'm out of RPM. It just is what it is. So I either start gutting the car even more, which probably is what you should do, or you say, well, maybe porting the heads will do something. You got the cam, you got the this, you got the that. So you tear it apart, get heads sent to you that are ported. You give them yours as a core, and then you slap them on. And let's say the car makes 980, 990, but down on torque. Well, just launch at a higher RPM. You're going to mile an hour a little better. And maybe that cylinder head port got you to the 8s. Maybe. On a stick car, it's real difficult because they're wildly inconsistent. But that would be an example of a case used for or justifiable cylinder head porting expense. We haven't yet, but we will with HHP, and one of the engineers from Stellantis on that program is now working with GSE Power Division. That'll be one to look at from what I hear. Nice, nice, nice. Head game's all about the pocket port. Does the Coyote have gains with that? You're going to have to talk to him about that. And again, the only way we're going to know if the porting actually makes a difference is if some psychopath that uses VCT, because that is so dependent on so many things. Let's say, for instance, see, there's still people out there on this planet that go, you're going to make more power with locked cams. And if I have to talk to someone like that again, I'm going to blow my head off. Because you have to explain to this person that if you have the ability to control the cams at any RPM, that is more desirable than not having the ability to control those cams. Remember what I said? That theoretically, if you're spinning something at 11 or 12,000 RPMs on a locked cam motor and you have an EGR effect because the exhaust, it's creeping into the intake because of the overlap, that theoretically, if you can then swing the intake cam advanced or retarded to lessen that effect at that RPM, at that cam event, then that is favorable. But no, there are people to this day that still believe that you have to lock out your cams to make the most power.
To this day.
Going to the point of your motor, isn't it true that the boost is better for low compression over higher? Not if you have the octane. The biggest issue, again, we talked about ring gap. Ring gap is very important, guys. A Gen 123 NA illuminator has a tighter ring gap than a blown illuminator. The blown illuminator comes with a low compression piston. Overall, the NA illuminator comes with a high compression piston. They think you're going to run NA, so the ring gap does not have to be super loosey-goosey, anticipating boost on top of the piston. But we all know that if you have the octane, detonation isn't really a thing, and you can run as much compression as possible. So theoretically, if you had an NA illuminator with low compression illuminator ring gap, that would be the best combo by far to get. But let's be honest, it all depends on how much power you want to make. The Lunds, and I think Brett's car, does not make 1301 compression. I think those things are in the high 10s or mid 10s in terms of compression. Why? A tuning window. You have a better tuning window. you have a very high compression motor, you're going to have to really slam down timing and keep boost at a level where it doesn't rattle the piston and cause issues. So you're kind of playing that game. So are we back to talking about dumb NA builds and listening up to Bonnebird? No, we're not. We're not going to do any of that stuff. I'm glad that Headgame said, I only recommend full ports for 1,000 horsepower stuff. Motorworks, Headgame's Motorworks says, make more or same power at lower boost levels so it's safer. Tuning window, tuning window, tuning window. Sarcasm. Working on the weekend, he says, like he got Toto beating down the door. I kind of do. Got a text today. They want to know when they want to hang out, and I'm like, car shit. GTD has a C8 Corvette DCT, the Shelby GT500 engine slightly tuned up, and a bespoke chassis. It's not a Mustang, but I'm conflicted by it because I appreciate that it is a race car. I might pick up a core engine and send the heads your way for a port job. If you do, wait for a code that he's trying to put up to give AMRI members a bit of a break on head porting. If you don't want VCT, get a small block Ford. I'm going to port my neighbor's girlfriend to this day. Headgame said, you would absolutely need a good tuner on that test. You can't be a tuna. Thank you. When we talked about years ago, the LS versus Coyote comparison, I said, who's tuning it? You can't just say a known LS tuner can tune a Coyote, just like you can't say a known Coyote tuner can tune an LS. One of the biggest things I found out when tuning my LS is that it loves fuel. Now, maybe data-wise, it does not correlate, but the way the car feels, it just wants fuel everywhere. It wants fuel poured down its fucking throat. Like that meme where the girl is holding the other girl by the hair and just dumping milk down her fucking throat. That's what the Corvette liked at tip-in and just for drivability's sake. Like you needed an insane amount of open loop pedal ETC, like being super low. Basically, bigger squirters on the carburetor so that it would tip in better. And then when I got it tuned elsewhere, it didn't have that. And it drove pretty bad. And I'm like, nah, my tune is better on this particular setup, but that point is moot because that is going to be a Coyote going forward. So now you bring a car bring an engine to a dyno. Let's say someone's willing to work with you. It's going to be like a $20,000 test. And you're like, all right, I got this Whipple or twin turbo supercharged Zeal on the dyno. We're going to get after it. Okay, now put a set of different cylinder heads on it. What? Okay, now we're going to tune it. It's got to be tuned by Lund if you want VCT active and if you want the best results. Or put it on a chassis dyno. Hope you have like a climate controlled room, and then maybe that dyno can be used for back-to-back comparisons for a cylinder head port. Call me crazy. Cough, cough, Murder Nova. Bondo, when are you going to Boost? We've been on the show for long now. You work at House of China Whipple. Yeah, I don't understand why he doesn't. NA guys are not only retarded, but they beat their heads in the wall. Hey, the Lunds are the same way. They have a 6R80 still in that car. I got no idea why it doesn't have 400 in there, but they just want to say, we got this. This is our bread and butter. We're going to get after it. Bonnebird, on the other hand, has a 9,800 RPM NA car that hasn't gone on the track in 3 or 4 years, but I can't talk because of my job and this business. I don't race because I just don't have the time to race. Next week, no live streams. I will be at Lund Racing HQ. So to make up for the lack of live streams, I'm going to bring you videos. Black Bean updates. Grey Goose updates. Blue Goose updates. Updates of what's happening at Lund Racing HQ. No live streams because it's just too stressful to do it on the road. I seen on TRC that Lund told them to lock the camps for some reason. I don't recall why. I don't think so. Blue Thunder, do me a favor. Go to the video, tell me where, and I'll explain to you what the deal is. I just seen a video of someone who cracked a Coyote head somewhere. Made nice sense to like the stream, guys. Bonnebird, my combo retains VCT with big cams. Cam control is the only reason my power peaked at 8,200 and carried it flat all the way to 9,400. The curve will go a long way. VCT for the win. Well, damn, dude, the kid getting it after it on all fronts. Good for you. 9,400, guys, definitely a Honda guy. Good morning, Alice. Just made it to the stream in a few weeks. Just made it to the stream in a few weeks. Just watching the replay. Okay. Someone said, what cams are you running to Bonnebird? I think he's running some bullshit cams that homeboy at RPG fucks with. I've never heard of him. Or maybe it's the 5.2 spec Bullshit. That meme lives rent-free in my head, exactly. Patrick says, Napa can cross-reference belt. If you can give them length, parts number, give them a ballpark, literally 57 inches. 57-inch 6-rib belt. I need 100 of them because apparently it's rubbing somewhere, and I can't see where it's rubbing because it has 2 throttle bodies. So I'm like, I can't see shit. So what I'm going to have to do now is put in a belt without the cold air, without the throttle bodies, and spin it by hand to see if it's rubbing anywhere. That's the next test. Amazon has a belt, and it's going to be 2 days before I can see it again. But let's move on to Speed Phenom's video, where he actually goes into detail how the tariffs might actually hurt the GTD sales.
Excited to get this new car to test it out. Not in like a fanboyish way, but more in a way of just seeing what the ultimate version of a iconic brand is able to do. Real quickly, if you guys are enjoying...
Oh my God, you want to kill a channel? Do in-video live reads.
Built outside of America, manufactured and focuses on vehicles built outside of America, manufactured in foreign countries that are brought into America. It makes sense. I think it does make sense. We want to bring back American jobs. We want American vehicles to be manufactured here in America. Oftentimes we're finding these car brands build these manufacturing facilities right outside the border.
Exactly. So Speed Phenom says, okay, the GTD is made at Multimatic. Multimatic is not in the United States. Multimatic is a Canadian company. If the tariffs go through and you see reciprocal or just tariffs for the fucking hell of it, and you see a 10% increase in the price of a $350,000+ car, depending on how it's specced out, the price might be out of reach for many when there's a ZR1 literally waiting in the wings, ready to push its shit in. Where is it? There it is.
Not hand-built. It has a hand-built motor, yeah, but it's built here in America at the National Corvette Museum's
in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Neighboring building, the factory in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So it's right there. You can go to the factory and the museum right next to each other. Even check out the local racetrack. I'm referencing the Corvette because, yeah, it's more affordable. It's got more horsepower. And it's built in America. This Mustang GTD has less horsepower. It's more expensive. And it's not built in America.
If there isn't a better reason not to fuck with this car, Speed Phenom spells it out very nicely. I actually like these type of videos, Speed Phenom. These are your wheelhouse. These videos, you have a good take. I hope you don't copyright my shit, but I'm trying to highlight. Guys, give him I'll subscribe. Fuck it. You guys can subscribe too. Give him an extra couple hundred from his. So go to Speed Phenom, give him a like because, every time I use their videos, I like to give them a quick little like so they don't copyright my shit as penance for using their stuff. But he makes great points. He makes insanely great points. If you're a hypercar fanboy, or if you want to get after, you want to have the best American product performance that is there at that moment. You can only choose one or the other. Again, not everyone has the dick to swing low enough to buy both, but some do. Some say, I'll just buy both, fuck it. But let's say performance is the name of the game. Will a 1,000 horsepower twin turbo DCT car be a better at $120,000 less than a front engine transaxle supercharged untunable built in Canada tariff heavy not actually afford Multimatic? And there's going to be issues with that. Hand-built is just opening itself up to a bunch of bullshit. Hand-built doesn't mean quality. Ask Ferrari. So he makes great points. So if I'm a GTD guy and I put in I got an allocation, I'm like, there's a car out there with 250 more horsepower. Probably weighs the same. Probably runs a better number at the Nürburgring. Or if it doesn't run a better number at the Nürburgring, it runs a better number at VIR. a track that has long straights, the money is on the car that has the most horsepower, full stop. Full stop. You got to understand, depending on where you're going to drive this car, it depends on, how it's going to perform. If you're going to be at Palm Beach International Raceway, where it has one long straight, but a bunch of tight little curves, you're better off with a fucking Miata, a fucking LS swap Miata, or fucking LS swap Miata, a little turbo 4-cylinder Miata will get after in the turns, and you're going to be faster than most cars. But VIR or something that has long straights, I think you're going to want the car that has the most horsepower. And let's be honest, where this thing shines is in the streets. So do I want a 1,000 horsepower twin turbo DCT car to $200,000, or a 300 or 400 or 500, depending on tariffs and how I have it spec'd out, GTD that makes 200 less horse, weighs the same, engine in the front? Look, this is a very easy answer. It's the Corvette, and they're going to make more of them. So, and they're going to be a production vehicle. So it's going to be something ka-chunk out. So I think it's a great point that he brings up. What do you guys think? Do you think if you're going to swing your dick, are you going to buy a GTD or the up-and-coming ZR1 if you can save potentially $200,000 on the sale? Bonderbird still uses chopsticks to eat his food. NA guys make everything in life difficult for themselves. Alex, have you tuned somebody yet who went stupidly max effort NA? Yeah. And they regretted it because I showed him a graph. Okay, there was a guy that had a tin can gutted 10R80 car, CJ, cams, E85 mixed with M1, fuel system, blah, 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 blah. And he got beat by a boosted car on E85 that made like 12 PSI or 13 PSI. And the car was fully loaded. So he was like, yeah, that sucks. I can't believe how they did all this over top shit GTD, but gave it the same shitty bland interior as a base GT. Shell is made in Flat Rock, then shipped to Canada to be modified, as I understand. If so, the VIN for Series 1 is an American-made car. Don't think tariffs hit. Tariffs hit. It's a Canadian company. It's a Canadian import. It is a tariffed car if it is built by Multimatic, regardless of where the body was stamped. Only people buying a GTD are those with more money than brains. C801 is better than a GTD. What will your ops do without you for a whole week? Oh, I'm going to be posting videos. Guys, I'm going to post videos. I'm going to post Grey Goose updates, Black Bean, Motec updates. I'm going to Lund Racing update. I'm going to post probably 3 or 4 times or maybe 5 times next week. Just no live streams. Is the car scene in Texas better than Florida? Yeah, it's not even close. He said could be another 100,000 on top of the price already. ZR1 smokes a GTD. I'm sorry, but that's not even close. Did you see the hockey fights, US vs. Canada? Nope. Dude from Drag Times had an allocation. He will buy both, I bet. Yeah, that guy seems loaded. I don't know what he does for a living, but YouTube money ain't it. Only into the GTDs to flip due to limited production. I agree. It's one of those cars. It's like a portfolio car. You buy it like a GT3 RS. You wait a year and you flip it for an extra $150,000. I think that, it took me a second, but going back to my cam lockout question, it was 40 seconds into the video, 4th video down that racing channel's truck. Okay, let's go. Because we need to dispel some myths here. TRC. Didn't they get rid of all their street racing stuff? That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,716 F-150 work truck. We made a big mistake. 40.
What's up, guys? Javier from
I guess his voice just really gets to me. What did you say? It was 40 seconds into the video. Okay, let's 40 seconds. Here we go. Woo! Oh.
After we got through the roll testing, we were getting ready to do some dig testing for the Cletus all-wheel drive shootout that was right around the corner. But when Lund was reviewing the data from the roll test day, he came back to us and said that he would recommend that we get a cam lockout kit. So we went ahead and got an RGR lockout kit. And from there, it took a little bit of a while to get that done. We got super busy.
Okay, I'm going to dispel this myth right now. Here you go. Junior, did you? I'm gonna use a voice text. Hey, Junior, I'm on the live right now, and at the 40-second mark of the TRC video that's labeled 1716 horsepower F-150 work truck is back, we made a big mistake. Javier claims that you, because you're tuning the truck, told him that you recommend a lockout kit for the cams. Is that true, and why? Because the only thing we would recommend is an exhaust cam lockout, not an intake cam lockout. You understand? We don't say, hey, you should put lockouts in this thing. We usually say exhaust, but maybe because of the motor not being able to control VCT, we said, lock out the cams. I'd rather have a supercharged E-Ray than a ZR1. Me too. Hand-built, endless possibilities of errors and multiple recalls. Did anyone find the down girl on Alex's IG? Oh yeah, we got, again, if you're on Patreon, we found her. Florida or Texas to live? Florida. Never would live in Texas. I'd get a C8 long before I ever consider GT500 GTD if I had the money. Headgame says, the guy who buys the car doesn't love cars, he loves one car. Or had pom-poms in his hands at some point in life. Nice. KB Coyote says, Alex, have you seen the swap Fox body with a 5-speed transmission? Have you seen an EV swap? No, that does not interest me at all. Literally doesn't interest me. A EV swapped Fox body with a 5-speed? So the guy's a homosexual. 60 to 30 on the 01 in stock form is the mid-4s. GTD is nowhere close, low 6s at best. If I got it, I beat the shit out of it in post-lap times. Ford can't stop me from renting it to drivers to find out. Gonna go with the horse on this one. I bet they had back pressure issues. Midnight doesn't lock the cams, do they? I don't know. I asked Junior, we'll see what happens. Can you go nitro methane with a Coyote? I bet it's worth it, and it'd be worth it. Nitro methane is for absolute cucks and gays. So there you go. Tin Can Gut a 1080 car, all you need to know. Exactly. He was a little disappointed because, we try to tell people, bro, I really would hope that you guys listen to me. And when I tell you that a boosted full interior car is better than a tin can with no rear brakes 10R80 car, it's just wonderful. Look, the Fox body that has Hush Money's motor in it, fully loaded. AC, power windows, banging audio system. It's a notch, so it's little, but it has all the amenities. If it didn't have those amenities, you couldn't overlook the Fox body nature of the vehicle. Still rattles around potholes. At watt, when you let off, it sounds like the drive shaft is going to fly off of it because that's just how it is. So I don't know if it's like a resonance issue, or I've never not heard a Fox body at 150 mile an hour that didn't sound like it was going to fly apart. So if you have a tin can brand new car, you didn't bring it down to Fox body weight. You brought it down to like S197 weight. And you're like, what the fuck did you just do? You took a 3,800 pound car, made it 3,300 pounds, and it's like unlivable. No AC, no power windows, Lexan, no rear brakes. Like it looks like it's sitting like a 4x4. For what? What did you prove to yourself? Because why not just take that motor out and put it in an already lighter car, like a Notch? I'm blown away that people take a perfectly nice car that has crump. Where do you think the most of the weight is on modern vehicles? You think it's in the seats? It's in the crumple zones, dude. It's in the actual unibody. It's in the actual fucking frame. You're not, unless you start literally drilling speed holes in it, you're not gonna make a big enough difference to matter, in my opinion. Or just get a Notch and gut that sucker. I'm blown away nobody has done that. Taken like a 25.3 spec'd out Fox that weighs 2,200 pounds, stuff an NA motor in it, 10R80, and go like 890s. That'd be hilarious. Gay, but hilarious. And then the problem is this. Oh yeah, it's a Fox body. Of course it's gonna go faster than a Fox body. Well, that's the point, asshole. Do the Luns own a 2020 GT500 or previously owned one? Yes, white one. Did you see the 427 supercharged E-Rear for the boost? Yes, I've only talked about it a bazillion times. Why? Just curious. I see everyone moving to Texas, but think it's just because of the taxes. Nothing nice about it. Like Florida. Yeah, there's nothing nice in Texas. The EV Swap 5C Fox showed up on my comments, and I said, nah, same here. For what you'd pay on a CJ kit, you'd literally get an ESS and an On3 kit. Not sure if it has been asked, but does Head Games recommend stock cams for support? Again, Big Brizzle, we tell you what to get cam. When it comes to cam recommendations, people that port, in my opinion, shouldn't really go out of their way recommending cams. He should just say, talk to your tuner. That's what he should do. He should port the heads and say, here you go. Here are the flow numbers. Here's what I got at this lift. Buy. And then your tuner would recommend the cams, or your engine builder, if you trust them. Gutting it is for after you make all the power, not to make up for a lack of power. No, it's the other way around, AJ. The guys that want to go fast, they start gutting it. But they'll keep their Starlight headliner. Oh, absolutely will keep their Starlight headliner. But, won't have receipts. I know how to get on Slow 99's bad side. What did he say? Crash structure, Razakar life. Weight is in the fender, firewall, and quarter panels. All that gutting NA parts get smoked by a blown car with a full interior. Crash structure and wiring, exactly. If you can afford an SF50 and gutted, you can afford to swap a Coyote into a lighter car. Speed holes, and then Flanders gets sniped. See, he understands. He understood the Simpsons reference when I said speed holes. If nobody knows, Homer, speed holes. Homer literally put speed holes in his car.
Wherever Krusty's gone, we'll find him. Legs, you check out the east side. Louis, Rome and Budapest. Tell the boys I want a total world search.
Hey, what are all these?
So this is Homer dressed up as Krusty the Clown. He is at a dealership looking for a car. The mafia's going to shoot at him, misses, and hits the car. And then he goes, what are these holes?
Basically nothing. Only 38,000.
Hey, what are all these holes?
These are speed holes to make the car go faster.
And then he goes home and starts putting holes in his car. He goes, these are speed holes. They make the car go faster. And then he goes home and starts putting holes in his car. Oh, good shit. Good shit. Good show. Man, that thing looks old as fuck. Means I'm old as fuck. Fuck me. Cam should be a recommendation for the purposes of the build. Exactly. What about boosted and gutted? There was an NA Fox sick week running sixes. That thing was impressive. There was an NA Fox at oh, come on. That thing had a 900 cubic inch fucking mountain motor. Again, impressive. It was like SVT, wasn't it like 900 cubic inch? It was cool. Like, I can't imagine how many times the dude had to adjust his valves. Like the rockers, sorry. I don't know, whatever. Like, runs over. Okay, we're going to go for a 200-mile drive to Bradenton. All right, just start turning it over on pump gas. And it's badass. NA, sixes, but it was like a 900 cubic inch mountain motor. Starlight headliner, remove the door, but not beeping smoke detector. Here we go. This thing's going to freeze up. So let me just redo everything here. Fuck it, because it's going to freeze. There it is, froze. So I'm just reloading the webpage because it looked like it was going to freeze. So might as well just get it all in one shot. It's super disappointing. I still haven't figured out why it does this, but I don't care. Reloading the page seems to work. And we'll go from there. So anyway, Speed Phenom has a good little theory talking about what would you consider if you're the uber rich guy that wants to potentially get a GTD or a ZR1. And he says, hey, with tariffs and all this shit, it might be really expensive to get yourself into a GTD. And just even without tariffs, the GTD is more expensive than the ZR1 as is. And it's probably going to be slower than the ZR1. So I wonder if it's worth it. But let's talk about EPA stuff. Now, Lee Zeldin is on a warpath. I've been a news junkie since the Trump administration has taken hold of power. Kash Patel going in there, that means Epstein list, 9/11, JFK murders, RFK murder, like everything. The Epstein list is going to be wild. People are quitting. People are moving. People are Googling how to best defense lawyer. People are selling their houses in DC. And then Lee Zeldin, someone I never knew who the fuck he was, goes in there and starts going, check this out. The EPA discovers $2 billion stashed away by Biden administration for Stacey Abrams linked climate group. Oh my God. Jahi White left the coalition for the Green Capital to join the Biden administration. He was put in charge of the EPA's Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. He then tossed his former employer $5 billion of your tax dollars. Corrupt to the core. This guy is sticking his foot way up in the ass of people that floundered your money.
Removal of over 13,000 properties. We are going to get that done on time. We have over 1,500 workers out there now. They're crushing that mission. This is EPA doing its job. I'm very proud.
Anyway, love it. Love to hear it. So now that you know that California is getting its carb exemption taken away, now they can't set their own rules. Now the other states cannot abide by those rules because there are no rules. Everything under the executive branch has been recaptured power-wise. Trump put out a memo not too long ago that stated everything that's under the authority of the executive branch is under the authority of the executive branch. No bureaucracy can operate outside of it. And he has taken power and people are freaking the fuck out. So CARB could be going away. Now let's go back to a subject matter that a lot of Canadians got mad at me about. And it's about the aluminum. So again, the tariffs have not taken place yet. Trump threatened tariffs. And then aluminum that we get from Canada, we are going to tariff. So then people said, well, wait a minute. What if you tariff aluminum? Isn't the price going to go up? Australia was given a waiver so that they can we can literally fund everything aluminum wise in Australia. The United States has such a high demand that Australia is going to have to make a fucking deal. Now, what is the crux of the tariffs? To stem the flow of fentanyl coming across the northern border. Right. Canada does not do enough to secure its border. So Trump said, we're going to put tariffs on you because one, you got tariffs on us. You can't refine your oil. We can refine our oil. We buy it through you because it's cheap. But if we just refine our own oil or get oil elsewhere, because let's be honest, who actually secures oil deliveries through the whole globe? The U.S. Navy. So back to Canada. Fuck your aluminum. You're not stemming the flow of fentanyl across your border. Fuck your aluminum and everything else because we are in a massive trade deficit. You're taking advantage. And Canada got huffy and puffy and Trump said, slap the pee-pee. So when I mentioned that in one of the live streams and clips, you're so stupid. It's all the way in Australia. How the fuck are you going to get cheaper aluminum in Australia? Oh, asshole. If we buy all of it and say you're going to give it to us at a discount, motherfucker, because who else has the demand? Unless China. But China's not going to buy from Australia. China's like, we got our own stuff over here. You can go ahead and ship that to the Canadians or the Americans. So what you're going to see is people comply because Daddy USA is now setting the rules everywhere and saying you're going to comply, motherfucker, and this is what's going to happen. Oh, Zelensky, you want more money? Sure. Give us earth minerals. Give us secure our investment in your the billions of dollars that we've given you. I love the fact that he's calling him a dictator. He goes, you know what? I don't think I'm going to fuck with you anymore unless there's actual elections in your country. Bro, it's fucking wonderful. But the Canadians got all mad at me, threatening me. Threatening me? Sorry, we're not fighting in a hockey rink. Okay, you guys think, oh, Alex, you better not come up here and fuck with us, eh? I'm not going to put on skates and fight you in a hockey rink. I will just simply blick the shit. That's an American way. I like how people think that we're going to get on a hockey rink and fight. Fuck out of here. Oh, hockey guys are so tough. Yeah, with one shirt grabbed on with a hockey, put them on on asphalt. Then they're regular traffic. Get the fuck out of here. Imagine my bank coming to collect all that money, safe, trusted, in a place for the taxpayers. Have you ever been to Mustang Week? Yep, it's gay. What's up? I'm not gonna. Why would you want to go to Galveston? Galveston is hosting a Mustang Week. Galveston. Have you been to Galveston? Hey, put your hand up if you live in Houston and you've gone south. And I think what's 45 or 290 or whatever the fuck it's called. into Galveston. It is a fucking shithole. Galveston is a fucking shithole. You're going to host a Mustang Week in Galveston? Why don't you hold it in Newark, New Jersey? Why don't you hold Mustang Week in Detroit, 8 Mile area? Hell, fuck it. Mustang Week, South Central Los Angeles. Fuck it. Mustang Week, El Paso. What the fuck are we doing? Galveston? Boy, you psychotic. You're going to have the tacuache, the puro pinche 956 a la verga over there. You're going to see how fucked up Houston is. There's a reason I got the fuck out of there, guys. Houston is ta jodido. Es una mierda.
Puro pinche 956 a la verga.
If you think you're going to have a Galveston Mustang Week that is not full of gunshots, Mexicans, Blicks out the... Dude, Galveston Mustang Week. I did the mistake one year of doing a drive to Galveston. They used to set up meets, like at Wolfie's or whatever, and then you'd go down just straight. I think it's 45. For whatever reason, the number 45 stays in my head. And you go through downtown. It is just awful. It's not nice. It's not pretty. It's not picturesque. It's not a nice drive. It is trash. You drive from trash. Like, you drive from, like, Conroe, which is decent. Woodlands, decent. And then it's just butt cheeks all the way down to Galveston. Es una mierda. Bro, it awful. Awful, awful, awful. Makes sense. Shit show, a shithole. So why not Galveston? It's a shit show to drive around in too. I'm glad it's Galveston because that means it's close to me. Don't be hating. It's, you know, Saren, look at me in the eye socket. You know that's a fucking shithole, right? You think because it's a beach, y'all want to see what the beach looks like? Y'all want to see what the beach looks like in Galveston? This is probably the best photo. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my fucking God. I cannot believe this is what they're actually using. Dude, Galveston is such shit. Galveston is brown water with, like, no waves. There's, like, this little shitty pier here that has like a couple of rides that are probably full of hypodermic needles and like taco burrito coverings. It's so bad. So let me see Galveston Beach. Let me see a map view. Maps. And I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what I see. Mira pa allá esa mierda. Okay, now check this out. Oh, oh my Lord. Let me see. How can I move this bitch around? Let me just plop this motherfucker right here on the beach. There we go. That's not a good day. This is not a good day. It's a bad day. But look how blue the water is. Look at blue. Look at the blue water. Look at the blue water. Look at the fucking blue water. There's a pier. Fucking pier. This is pier. Picture. Let's see if someone fishing on that bitch. Look at this. Oh, look at the water. Come on. Can I step up? Look at that. Shit. Mira pa esa agua. Hey, let's go to Galveston. Let's see if they don't even got a man on that shit. He finna get shot. There we go. He popped up. He popped up. Bro, yo, this is wild. Y'all fucking go to Mustang Week en esa carajo, en esa mierda. Mira pa allá, brother. It's depressing. The most depressing Mustang Week ever. Bro, don't good luck. Good luck, Mustang Week, Galveston, Texas. 2027 is going to be held in South Central Los Angeles. What the fuck are you guys doing? Junk. Don't fuck, dude. I remember, I'll never forget. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we moved to Houston from Massachusetts. Now, compared to where we lived in Massachusetts, Houston is a massive city. Just smells like antifreeze, and the air smells like antifreeze and automatic transmission fluid. It just smells that way. Right? So we're like, all right, maybe we got to get used to it. We go to dinner. Place is whack. People are whack. I'm like, nah, we don't like it here. So we go further down into the city. It got worse. I thought it'd get better once you got into the city. It got worse. And I'm like, all right, let's fuck this. Next day, we go get some breakfast. Breakfast is huge. Food was good, but the area was sketch as fuck because we lived in Cyprus. And then she's like, let's go to the beach. All right, fuck it. 45 minutes south. We get there, and we were like, if I'm not mistaken, there's a refinery on the beach. Isn't there a refinery on the beach? Wait a minute. Let me see. Refinery, Galveston refinery. It's a refinery on the beach, bro. Let me see. Dude, there was legitimately a refinery on the fucking beach. Does anyone know if there's still a refinery on the beach? I don't know. I could have sworn there was. And I looked at her and I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna live here long, are we? She's like, hell no. So I got a job in West Palm Beach. We went to the beach and we were like, oh man, this is, and I'm trying to find the photo that convinced us that we were home. You know, we were like, wow, we're home. Let me see. Maybe it's this one. There's these mangroves everywhere. And one of them was just super cool because there's a bunch of little inlets everywhere. And we stepped through and it looked like a little welcome mat. And we were like, yeah, we're home, bro. This is, yeah. We were just walking through this shit here. Look at this girl. Oh, some old grandma. I got to find that picture. Now I'm on a mission to find that picture. It was just wonderful. And I couldn't believe that we live here. I was like, we live here. Let's see. No, that's not it either. Anyway, if you go to Juno Beach, guys, you come down here, go to Juno Beach, you won't want to leave. Don't go to Juno Beach. You just won't want to. You won't want to leave the area. You're gonna be like, yeah, I love it here. It's beautiful. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. Good luck to the people that are holding an event at Galveston. Bring your bulletproof vests, and your car's gonna get stolen. Got a nice Mustang? Got some Bellax? Better sleep in that motherfucker. You better sleep in that motherfucker. Mustang Week Hialeah is better than Mustang Week in Galveston. Truth, no good Mexican food anywhere in Galveston. Galveston is ghetto beach community with muddy water. Ironically, the shittiest Mexican food in Houston is in Galveston. I'd rather drive to South Padre Island or Florida. Fuck Galveston. Exactly. Toxic waste rolls up there. I think you can see the oil rigs from the ocean. I live in Kingwood. It was pretty nice. I love Juno Beach. Galveston looks like a shitty version of Santa Monica in LA. Santa Monica is a nice beach to begin with. Turvey brings his sister to Galveston beaches. His sister's pretty hot. Multiple, Waffle Houses. At work, catching the replay. Yes, in Texas City, there is a refinery. I feel like it's about to get worse. Mustang Week Galveston presented by Muddy Mariachi. Checking in for the head game. The water in West Palm is so clear. Ice finna be Galveston staying work. I'm retarded, says Anthony. Color a belt with a white marker or something to help show its rubbing points. Patrick, it smokes. I don't know where the fuck it's rubbing. Color the belt white. The whole belt fucking snapped and smoked. So I'm like, something's fucked up. So now I have to, there are plus and minuses to not having friends. This is the only negative. The plus is you don't have to talk to anybody. The minus is you don't have four hands to help. I was putting tension on the tensioner and trying to put the belt on with the left hand, and it just didn't have a good angle. And I'm just like, oh, this is the only time I need someone here. It was awful. Imagine your belt axe gets stolen at the meet, coming back to some cinder blocks. Guys, I'm not kidding. You will get your car stolen at Mustang. You're going to try to invite people from the United States to one of the ugliest beaches full of probably the worst people to bring their nice Mustangs to in a city that is known for shenanigans. You really want to do that? Okay, I think John replied. Thank you very much. So John Jr. states about the TRC video. Sorry, just saw this. I don't remember telling him anything about locked cams. But if I did, it was only regarding the exhaust cams. So again, because someone says something does not mean you should believe it. I wanted verification, and I have never in my life have seen John Jr. in an email tell someone, hey, you should lock out the cams. Literally never, ever, ever. We don't ever recommend locking out the cams. There is no gain. There's nothing but drivability issues. There's nothing but tuning issues. The car drives like shit, runs like shit, starts like shit, idles like shit. Generally is a shit experience. So we go out of our way to tell people retain VCT even if it's in the intake only. So shout out to Junior for replying during the show to dispel the myth that we recommended locked cams on the TRC build. Cancun Beach is very nice. Heard Brett is going to Mustang Week. Brett, do not take your eyes off of that Mustang. You think I'm kidding? I don't know you that well, Brett. We ain't boys. Do not take that car to Mustang Week. Or if you go to Mustang Week, hope you get paid $10,000 to be there. And do not take your eyes off of that fucking car. It will get stolen. Bet me. There's probably a complete fucking gang that is like, y'all just steal the fucking car. And there's nothing you could do. They're more blicked up than you. They run deeper than you. They roll deeper than you. They know people that know people. And the moment you cross into Houston and take your eyes off of that car, Galveston, see you later. I'd say the same thing about Hialeah. I'd say the same thing about South Central. I'd say the same thing about Detroit. One of the guys at P1 took a look at my Lund Flex tune and said it was all out of whack and wasn't a complete prick about it. It was all out of whack and wasn't a complete prick about it. Okay. The water at Juno Beach is literally Tiffany blue on a nice summer day. Exactly. Must be Mustang to Mustang Week. Stealing bell axe from a kingpin drug dealer is a bad move. Probably find a dead dad in the trunk. Meth head Mustang Week in Galveston is going to be huge. Thanks for the clarification. I heard that and thought sus. What Junior really wanted to say is I ain't tell that fucking damn thing about locking cams. Okay, he just sent me something. He says not for live, so do not say this, Alex. Dude, I love this guy. There has been a change in Junior. And it's like Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogy, where he's innocent, young, willing to learn, holds a lot of power, but doesn't know exactly how powerful he is. Then he starts to see how the world operates and is frustrated. You know, some people are taking advantage and he is powerless to do anything about it because there are people above him that pull rank and probably, you know, are doing things that he feels they should not. And then we are in the middle of seeing him become Darth Vader. He is like, fuck you. From my point of view, the Jedi is the one that, you know, it is there. And I'm here for it, baby. Because I've always been a cynical asshole. But I've tried to not let the cynicism bleed into the crew. You know, I try to play my role. I'm a cog in the wheel. But when that motherfucker goes out of his way and talks that shit, I go, my man, I love it. Not Alex hedging us on a Thursday. It's not Rocket will get a stolen, painted red, and all of a sudden someone will be campaigning the Red Rocket. People steal cars where you go to lunch and they're gone before you finish. It's not Rocket going to be the fastest striker out. Will Bill from Extensive be there too? There's going to be a whole bunch of elotes there. They want to be more street up with the chop. Not for live. I called it exactly. Did he just say what Joe Swish said? What did Joe Swish? No, not really. When the Gulf of Mexico became the Gulf of America, Junior became his final form, and you're Darth Sidious. Who am I? Who was talking in, no, I'm the Emperor. You don't understand, guys. I'm Lord Palpatine in this storyline. I'm saying, I don't know, man. I wouldn't take that shit from that motherfucker. You know, you could really talk that shit if you wanted to. But won't they think I'm a bad guy? You want to be known as a fuddy-duddy the rest of your life? You want to stand up for yourself. And then, his final form. The more hate, the better he does. See, when Junior's complacent and happy, we don't go forward. We don't go forward. He's happy. He's just making videos. They're like, nah, we got to get chippy with this motherfucker. You understand? The way to get me going is to piss me off. It just spurs on creativity. With him, just tell him he fucking sucks all the time. We do that all the time. You fucking suck, Junior. You're shit. Your tubes are whack shit. And he'll sit there and be like, yeah, I suck. It's like when Jordan makes a fake scenario to hype himself up. That's Junior when he says, I suck. Darth Immigrant, that's funny. The Emperor is Darth Sidious. Oh, the Emperor is Darth Sidious? Gotcha. Mustang Lifestyle's 10, 10, 10 out of 10 Jar Jar. 99% of the cars don't need bell-locks or beadlocks. Y'all putting beadlocks on a sub 800 horsepower car is genuinely an LFMAO moment. Not wrong. Who's senior? Qui-Gon, probably. Darth says, staying mode is Jabba the Hutt. Oh, come on. Here we go. Senior's that weird looking who bossed around Kyle Ren. I'm Darth Tater, says Smash Devour. How much power is the 2650 going to make? I don't think it's going to touch 1,000 because I have a low compression illuminator in there. Remember, guys, that motor's a sacrificial lamb. I got it for nothing. And then Magnuson was like, hey, you want to stick a blower in it? I'm like, sure. Boom. Now, I'm going to do my best to make it run 8s, but I don't care about power at this point. I care about how it performs. Not 2650s don't show good power on the dyno, but god damn it, do they perform on the track. So my goal with the Magnuson Magnum 2650 twin inlet is to pull it down to like a 2.6, 20%. Hopefully the belt stays on and get after it and hopefully run an 8 stick shift. That's the goal. If it does run an 8 stick shift, I'm going to do my best to promote the brand for Magnuson. Do my best, maybe go to a show or two. I'm going to talk to Justin Dugan, see if he allows me to go to the American Muscle Car Show, trailer it up there, show it for a day. I want to show the product off and have it run a number. And do that for a certain amount of time till they're happy and satisfied with it. And then, go from there. Junior is the water boy and you feed him tackling fuel. Remember what Charles Barkley said about Galveston? What did Charles Barkley Galveston. Charles Barkley said something about Galveston.
That's coming your way.
Let's see.
Galveston. That dirty. Disappointed in us. Where they going, Chuck? Galveston. That dirty ass water. We're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston where that dirty ass water be washing up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all located, we y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston. Come on, man. So they're not taking a little. Come on, they didn't even try, man.
Galveston. It's that bad. If you know Galveston, go ahead and have Mustang Week in Galveston, out of all places. Holy, why don't you have it in Mission, Texas? Oh, man. Head Game says, so they are locking the cams and they degreed cams in with the engine in the truck? Well, Head Games, to be honest, if you keep the reluctor in the back going, you can find the proper position to put the cam in. Yes. On Coyotes, because it's all about the wide open throttle cam position. Not necessarily you don't need a wheel in the fucking thing. So let's say, for instance, for example, at wide open throttle, I want the exhaust cam at 20 positive. So if you lock it at 20 positive, exhaust. You don't need to degree it in with a wheel or anything like that. Oh, engine builders right now are losing their fucking mind while giving people new boss cranks with pilot bushings in them. Oh yeah, I know another bread man nightmare. Go to Patreon. Become a Patreon subscriber. Look at the stories on the peasant chat there. It's ridiculous. 2650 will do well on the front half. Exactly, that's all I want. If the front half does well, the back half should be decent enough to run an 8, I hope. Patrick Scott said, y'all guys in Maryland and West Virginia and PA area, look into the Berkeley Springs Airport war for car-related funds and racing. Just for the comment says, can't wait for the videos of you running the track again. Just going to be you? Yeah, it's just, look, I do everything alone. I noticed really quick that I'm alone in this because I have money. Nobody wants to do work. I'm in this weird position that people say, there's a guy, shout out to Radioactive Fabrications, but he's in Washington State. He took the initiative and he said, Alex, you don't know me from a hole in the wall, but I own Radioactive Fabrications. I am in Washington State. Here's my Facebook page. I am a fabricator. I will do everything you need to do on the Fairmont. We'll talk pricing. We'll talk quoting. We'll talk this. I'll video the process, and you can have the video to do whatever you want on your channel with progress on the Fairmont. And then I'm like, it's Washington. I'm not sending my car to Washington State. Might as well send it to Alaska. So, and I emailed him back. I said, I appreciate you reaching out. But the fact that he took the initiative and said, I'm willing to work with you. In Florida, there are shops. Steve at Thunder is the only guy I trust, really. But right now, I'm waiting on parts. Guys, I'm waiting on parts. A belt took 2 weeks. I've spent $300 on belts. Oh, half inch too big, half inch too, 1 inch, 6 rib. This one, now it rubs and it snapped, and I don't know why. Now I got to figure it out. Got to buy another one. Takes another 2 days to come in. Dude, the parts game is so crazy, and working on cars when you have no one willing to work on them, or at least no one competent taking the initiative to say, Alex, you need work done? I'm willing to do some work. No. So you know what? I'm going to do it all by myself, because at least if it gets done, it'll be me, and I can only blame myself, and I don't have to be disappointed in someone that fucked me over or some shit like that. Guys, I'm like so done with the game that I'm just going to do everything myself. Fuck it. But cams are locked and degreed with the tensioners not pressurized too. Can't wait for the videos of you running the track again. Gotcha. Dirty ass water. What AJ said. Well, shit, if you're going to go to American Muscle and Show, I'll go there instead of Mustang Week. Taxes since it's so bad there. If Justin Dugan hit me up, if you want me at the American Muscle Car Show with the GT500 and the Magnuson Twin Inlet, I'll go. I'll trailer the car up there. Fuck it. I'll make a weekend out of it. I did it before. Washington State, chassis will be gone before it makes it to the shop. Exactly. I don't trust the transportation, nothing. Alex, on a serious note, speaking of working with people, I talked to my boss in the last couple of days about getting a setup with some AFCOs for Section 8. I'll hit you up on Patreon. Yeah, I'd love some AFCOs, Section 8. But the problem is, I might be okay because I don't know what my current setup will do. So I don't know if I need AFCOs at this point. But look, I'll definitely take you up on something like that, because why not? I have AFCOs in the back of the Fairmont. I bought those from 1320 Fabrication. But like, again, I had to ship my car to 1320 Fabrications. And I was in $30,000, again, whatever, $30,000. There's like 10 shops here in Florida. I called all of them. Didn't get a fucking phone call and email back. Done. Fuck all that. Sent my Corvette out to fucking Pennsylvania. Got a transmission and a tune, and I came back and blew it up. That's why I don't send cars out. I'm good. And then apparently it's my fault. Why does it look like toilet water? Hey, hit live on your shit. Garage Bill says, I do everything. Shop, see the Coyote swap in the 60s car and think it's a nightmare or cash cow. Either way, I can't afford the situation. I can afford the situation. You're not going to fuck me on it, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to get the Fairmont, this is what I want from somebody with the Fairmont. Do everything minus the motor and transmission. I'll do that. Mount the seat. Mount the front bumper. Make a nice little lip. Fix the body stuff. You know, like make the interior, mount a steering column. Okay, this is what I need on the Fairmont because I thought about it. I could do the motor and trans. I'll do that. Mount this, a steering column that matters, pedals, brakes, run the lines, literally do everything but the motor and trans stuff. Nobody's willing to do that. And it's probably what, $15,000 to $20,000 worth of work or $10,000 worth of work? That's what happened to Mike. He had too many projects and too many shops and got ripped off. Also, trusting people. I'll take the apples if Alex doesn't want them. Get out of here. Alex, my brother has a crazy shop in Boca. Yeah, I'm good on that. Yeah, Reflex, I don't care about that much. I think they thought we were boys and that's how they camaraderie. But I'm a respect guy right up front. I'm a respect guy. And if I treat you with respect and put you on and try to do this and this and that, and then, you know, people talking shit's okay. But then the car fails and I'm like, yeah, no, once I knew the block was junk, I'm like, this is going to be a $15,000 build. I'd rather stuff a Coyote in it for $15,000. Like, I'm not even $5,000 into the Coyote swap stuff on the Corvette. Time-wise, oh yeah. But money-wise, not even $5,000 into the build. Got the bell housing fitted. The motor mounts are coming. The oil pan got sent to the Lunds, and Ryan Eckert is going to fix the pickup situation. If he gets the pickup done and I can mount the oil pan on the fucking motor and Jake gets the motor mount done, I'm probably going to call Mantic because I can't wait around. I can't wait around for anyone else. I'm going to call Mantic and I go, okay, motor's mounted. What measurements do you need so you can make me a custom clutch for this motherfucker? Because that's where I'm at right now. I'm tired of waiting. See, John likes it. See, John sent me this. John must have been watching. See, John knows that he is now Darth Vader after he killed his wife. Crushed her shit for fucking with Obi-Wan, fucking whore. How dare you? You were with him. Choked her shit with the baby inside. Bitch. And LOL. Gotcha. Okay, so he's listening, so I'm glad to hear. We're good. Alex gets screwed on Fairmont. Name changes, hush money to USAID. Oh, I'd love that. I have brand new AFCO big guns waiting for them when my car going in again. TRZ Motorsports set them up for me. The ZR1 Edgared out. I said, damn, Reflex. Yeah, when he said Edgared out, I went, I'm sorry, what color is your ZR1? I didn't know they were talking about it either. It's not like you were disrespectful to them at all. Oh, no, after that, it was okay, I let a lot of shit slide, right? Until, shit blows up. And then I'm like, all right, nothing's going to slide. Cool. And I haven't mentioned them since. See you later. Hey, no ill will. I just don't want to fuck with any of y'all. We're good. Tried, put you on. I ended up with a blowed up shit. Whatever. Fuck it. Oh, and I paid to get that blowed up. I bought a clutch from them too. Didn't have to buy a clutch from them. I'm like, I'm good. Lunds, oh, the haters, nothing. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here pretty soon. So today we talked about the ZR1 potentially thwarting the release of the GTD because it is cheaper, it makes more power, it's probably quicker in many of the tracks, and it is a ka-chunk production vehicle as opposed to a Canadian built. Now, we don't know if the tariffs are going to affect the GTD or not, but something tells me if you have to buy a GTD and it has to come back in from Canada to the US, regardless whether you stamped it out in the US, sent it to Canada, it has to come back in after it's sold. I think tariffs will be placed on it unless Ford does some shenanigans and say, no, don't put that last taillight in until we do it at Flat Rock or whatever, and then Livonia or some shit, and then we'll say it's built in the USA because you put the last taillight in. So I think it's going to be interesting once the release comes out, and if the ZR1 actually runs quicker than the GTD in the Nürburgring, it is going to be egg on the face of Ford because this is the best they could do with a street-going vehicle. The best they could do. Full blown out race car And if a production car beats it, is going to be a problem. So that'll be interesting to see if that pans out. We also, the fuck else we talk about? Lee Zeldin, the GTD. What the hell else did we talk about? What did we talk about first thing? Let me see what's the title of the Canadian. Oh, Head Games. Sorry. Head Games actually came out with a video comparing the Boss 302 head to the Gen 2 head. For many years on many forums, people have been saying, oh, the Gen 2 head is the same as the Boss. And then he actually showed that it is not. The cast is different. And the Boss 302 flows more on the exhaust side. Intake is a bit of a wash. So it is an interesting take. And it'd be interesting to see a ported versus ported version. That'll be good to see data on that. Then he has like 30 videos to make. Ported 1 versus ported 2. Ported. I'm saying it right now. Head Games. The Gen 3 head. Listen up, guys, because I'm Nostradamus when it comes to this shit. I haven't seen flow numbers. I don't own a flow bench. The Gen 3 head is going to be a sleeper. And you're going to go, why the fuck is this head so good? Hey, yo. You're going to see Head Games. Do me a favor. Flow the Gen 3 head versus a Voodoo head. Oh, don't let people know that a Gen 3 head potentially is Billy badass when compared to all. You got all 3 generations to compare. But in my opinion, because you compared the Gen 1 head versus Voodoo, then ported it and go in there, I think you should compare stock for stock a Gen 3 head versus a Voodoo head. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised as to the outcome. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for hanging in there with me. Head Games, Gen 3 head. I'd love to see the results before you air them out, just to verify what I think is happening based on the numbers that I see. Because think about it. With a 302 and cams, you can make 500 rear wheel horsepower, and you don't need the 0.2 liters and extra 1,000 RPMs to make 500 wheel horsepower. Trust me, you will be very surprised when the Gen 3 head gets flowed, and you're going to go, shit, this bitch is actually pretty badass. But because of the journals and the cams and the bullshit, I think you're going to, have some deficiencies, using the Gen 3 head in certain applications. Guys, great show today. We'll be back on Sunday. I will do a show on Sunday. But again, the next week, Tuesday, Thursday, no show. Just 2 days. But I'm going to be at Lund Racing HQ. And I'm going to try to dump out some videos for you guys. What's happening up there to make up for the fact that no live streams are happening. Guys, thank you again for watching me for an hour and a half. Babylon about bullshit. Head Games, great job. Congratulations. I love what you're doing. Keep going. Don't stop. The Coyote platform is just getting started, and you could be at the forefront of the data gathering process so that forever people will reference your videos and go to you because you will become the authority on the differences in cylinder head design on the Mustang Coyote platform. Have a good rest of your night, guys. I'll see you guys Sunday morning for Peasant Chat. See you later. Bye.